Hello and welcome to the preview show in association with Sportsbroker. Today I'm buzzing to be joined by Josh Koroma and Steven Chicken of the Examiner. We have got an apology to make. First of all, with the travel to Swansea on the way there and back, we didn't have time to do the preview and the post-game show then. So we're going to catch up with that game to start off. Josh, it was a close one. We started slow in the first half, but we seemed to make some inroads in the second half. Were the lads a bit disappointed not to have at least got a point out of that one?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we all know we didn't play well in the first half, but we only conceded one, which was probably one of the only positives we can take. Obviously, we wouldn't have liked to concede at all. But we come out second half firing. We dominated the second half. We just couldn't get that goal.
Yeah, I mean, in the first half, Lee Nichols made a couple of big saves as well. How's he been in and around the camp? Is he someone that you enjoy playing with? Is he giving you a bit more confidence at the back as well? Because he's made a few amazing saves since he's come into the team.
Yeah, definitely. He's a top guy in the changing room and off the pitch, around the place, and he's a great goalkeeper to have behind you. He never stops talking. Everyone's seen it when they do break our last line. He's always there to stop us conceding. So, I mean, he's been a great addition to the team on and off the pitch.
Do you understand his Scouse accent?
Yeah, just about.
Just about. You two got a bit different accents. Stephen, how did you see the game? Obviously, we touched on the slower start in the first half, but the much improvement in the second. It's a similar sort of pattern to the Forest game and the Blackpool one, to be honest. Is that a pattern that you've noticed as well?
It is, yeah. I mean, we've talked before, even when sort of you're in the middle of that good run, about how the goals have come late for Town. Really, I think the earliest goal Town has scored is still the 39th minute. So those sort of slower starts have been a bit of a pattern. It's something that Carlos Corberán spoke about in his press conference ahead of this game as well. And I think it can make it difficult, obviously, because if Carlos always says the first goal is so important. I think that's especially true of Town, as we saw against Blackpool. The Stoke game aside, I think the first goal has almost, been the decider pretty much every time this season. So I think that is something that obviously needs addressing, and Carlos has acknowledged that the starts need to get better. I think the second half was better. I thought, obviously Josh coming on and Dwayne Holmes as well for the second game in a row, coming on in sort of that number 10 role, made a bit of a difference, and sort of, you're able to get into the final third a lot more. But again, it's creating those chances to actually, clear-cut chances on goal continue to be an issue.
I think Dwayne was really impressive again when he came on. He was really good against Forest as well. He seems to be thriving in that sort of impact sub-role.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, I think he was, as Carlos has said, he's much more, I think, probably a bit more mobile than some of the other midfield options, and when you bring him on in that 10 role, he's going to be a pest. He's going to be sort of popping up on both wings as well as at number 10, and I think it brings a different kind of energy to the attack.
Yeah, Josh, we've spoken to a few of the lads this year, and everyone's mentioned how sort of close the dressing room is, but one of the reasons why that is we've got a lot more competition for places, and we saw that this weekend. You were on the bench rather than starting. Is it nice for you and a bit more motivation for you, knowing that you've got to really play well and train well for your place in this team, and there are other lads capable of coming in and starting instead of you?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when there's competition for places, it only elevates everyone's performance, elevates training. I mean, like, as you've seen, I didn't start. Obviously, I was disappointed, but I mean, Swansea away in an easy game, and we should have walked away with a point, maybe even tried to create more and walked away with 3. But whether it's me starting or I don't start, or whoever it may be, someone can come in and fill people's roles perfectly well, and you won't affect the team.
Yeah, and I think it's a nice thing for Town as well, that, especially in the front line where you play. We saw it later on in the game. We started with Fraser as more of a traditional forward man, and then you went into the middle later on. Is that being able to have that fluidity and a bit more, difference in the ways we can attack, something that's a benefit to us this season?
Yeah, we got obviously everyone knows Fraser and Danny Ward are two different types of strikers. But it's good to have that kind of thing where not everyone plays the same when they play in that position, because depending on the opposition you play against, one player might be better suited. But again, both top strikers, both want to play, want to do well, want to score goals. And I'm sure as weeks go on, we'll only get better as a team.
Yeah, if we move on from the Swansea game now, Josh, because it's a fast turnaround in a championship. Like, we've got Blackburn tomorrow night. So you've got hardly any time to sort of digest one game before the next one comes along. They've won 5-1 at the weekend. Are you guys, straight away back in on Sunday, knuckling down and preparing for that one? And what's the mood around the camp? Looking forward to that game at home?
Yeah, definitely. We come in on Sunday. Starters done their recovery. Our subs trained, done a bit extra, but yeah, everyone's still positive. I mean, it's still early days in the season. We only played 9-10 games. Obviously Blackburn got a good result, but they're coming to our stadium. We're going to look to press them, and we're going to look to attack them and just try and dominate the game as much as possible. Yeah.
We haven't scored in a couple of games now. Is that something that you and the other lads up front sort of talk about and sort of concentrating on and want to kick on with? Because I know, having spoken to you earlier in the season for the programme and everything, you've got a lot of ambition. You want to do better this year statistically and performance-wise than you did last year, which was a big breakout year for you. Is that all motivation for you guys to try and get a few more on the score sheet and everything?
Yeah, definitely. Every game when you don't score as an attacker, you're disappointed. You want to score every game, but everyone knows football don't work like that. But I mean, me and all the forwards, we just want to score goals for the team so we can get points on the board. And I mean, I'm sure our goals will come because we've been playing quite well. We just ain't created that final shot, final pass, but I'm sure it will come.
Yeah, exactly. I think the performances aren't as concerning as what the results in the past couple of weeks might have suggested. And we've caught a couple of teams maybe at the wrong time as well. Stephen, with Blackburn coming and their big win at the weekend, are they going to be a dangerous opponent for Town?
Yeah, I mean, you only need to look at sort of the result last time Town played Blackburn and the result they've had at the weekend to see that they, on their day, can be up there with the best teams in the division in attack. That they're dangerous. They've been very inconsistent the last couple of years, but when they hit their stride, they can be a really, really dangerous side. And I think it'd be wrong to sort of try and concentrate too much on that in terms of, thinking, oh, well, this is a game where Town are going to need to defend. As Josh says, you're at home, you want to be on the front foot and almost take sort of attack as the best form of defence. If you got the ball and you're creating threat against them, then, it stops them from it means they're not attacking your goal.
Yeah, exactly. Is there anyone in particular from the Blackburn side that sort of jumps out? Obviously, Ben Barrett and Diaz scored a hat-trick at the weekend, and he's probably one of the stories of the championship, the way his sort of international careers come out of nowhere as well.
Yeah, you sort of took the words out of my mouth there, to be honest. And we know that they've got dangerous players all over the pitch. That they can be very incisive. They can attack on you very quickly and make chances out of nothing. We know that they're very, very good on the counter attack as well. They can be very quick. They're very direct at getting the ball up the flanks. And yeah, it's almost sort of you think about that Forest game a couple of weeks ago or 10 days ago, and how they used the flanks and got on the attack, and that it could be a similar story here.
Yeah, Josh, we're such a quick turnaround. How is it for you boys, sort of picking yourselves up and dusting yourselves off and making sure your body's right and everything? Is there a lot that goes into your recovery between games that come this quickly?
Yeah, definitely. The physios, we're always working with them. The sports scientists, we're always working with them. I mean, we've got a recovery process that's worked for us because we've been doing it for the past season and a bit. And as you can see, we always, every game, whether it's Saturday, Tuesday, we always run a lot, work hard. So the recovery process clearly works. So yeah, we'll do the same. We've done the same yesterday. We'll train today and be ready for the game tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, sort of, it was such a difference between Saturday and tomorrow night. Tomorrow night we're at home. We've got our own processes for how we ease into those in front of our own fans under the lights. Saturday going to Swansea, that awful journey down and everything like that. It's such a does that comfort around games and things make it a little bit easier to play at home? Is that one of the reasons why it's an advantage to be in Huddersfield rather than in Blackburn?
Yeah, of course, everyone loves playing at home in front of your own fans. It is cliche, but they actually do act as a 12th man. They can, especially our fans, they can intimidate teams just with how loud they always are, how much they're always chanting. And it does give us a kick, like it makes us run that extra yard, put in that extra tackle. And those are ideally the things that change results.
Yeah. Is there, when you look at other teams, do you pay much attention to their last performance and stuff like that? Obviously, I know you'll have done video and analysis, but is it something where you personally will be pulling up some Blackburn games on YouTube or anything like that, or maybe playing against them on FIFA and try to work out who looks decent or anything?
Me personally, no. I just, no matter if you won 6-0 on the weekend or if you lost 4-0, me personally, I just take it one game at a time. They won 5-1 on the weekend, but Tuesday's a new game, new day. Yeah, anything can happen. So me personally, no, I don't really watch their last results, but obviously you know who their threats are, strengths and weaknesses through our video analysis we do as a team.
Yeah.
For me, that's about it.
Stephen, have you got any questions for Josh at all?
I guess just, tactically, I think Carlos always is asking a lot from all the players. And I guess the emphasis the last couple of games has been trying to find solutions to things. How do you go about trying to figure out different ways to play against different opponents and working out what to do in different moments?
As everyone knows, the manager's very tactical. He always works out what the best way is to play against different opponents. And he just gives us the license when we're on the pitch. So when they play a back three, genuinely we'll play a back three or a front two. And then it's just following his instructions, really, because he watches the games in so much detail that he always knows where we can exploit them, and he just feeds it back to us and we follow it.
Do you think you've learnt more about the game then, working under Carlos? Do you think you watch football differently, or sort of, even when you're on field, you look at the game differently than you may have done before you were managed by him?
Yeah, definitely. As I said before, when he analyzes a team and you're playing the game, you can see exactly what he said coming to light, and it just helps you. Yeah, definitely I've improved tactically, mentally and technically under him. Brilliant.
Sort of with sort of the players they have in their team and, the fast-paced nature of that, do you think that's something that's going to feed into our game a little more, Josh? The fact that it's going to be two attacking teams rather than one team sitting back or one team trying to break, a bit more of the ball on the floor and two teams trying to actually play football properly?
Yeah, those are the kind of games you love. Everyone knows football's very hard when a team comes to your home ground, sits back. It's hard to break them down. But I mean, yeah, we're looking forward to it. We'll go toe-to-toe with them and we'll try and out-battle them, out-fight them and outplay them.
Nice. Stephen, how do you see this one going?
It's a tough one. I think, as I say, it's all about keeping the pressure on Blackburn and not giving them the opportunities to play on the counter, really, because we know they can be pretty devastating. So it's about taking taking the opportunities, try to create as much as you can, and try and limit the opportunities for them to get at you that way. As I say, if you use your attacks well, then you're going to create more problems for them than they are for you. Yeah.
Is there anything in particular that you're going to be looking out for tomorrow night, either on the Town side or the Blackburn side? Something that you might want to be writing about, and not to be ruining your column or any of your pieces?
You do well. You take it game by game, but I think we'd like to see a little bit more. Obviously a better start to a game, a faster start, particularly after the last two, where the first half has been quite poor. That's obviously going to be sort of the big thing, and then it's seeing how it goes from there. But I think if touch wood, it won't happen. But if you do find yourselves behind, then it's try to find ways to solve the problems that Blackburn give you if they do sort of make you need a little bit more invention, a little bit more creativity, a bit more problem solving, finding ways through that. But hopefully that won't be an issue.
Hopefully not. We'll find out anyway tomorrow night. There are tickets still available at the John Smith Stadium, for any Huddersfield fans who want to come down. And thank you both of you for your time, and thank you to Sportsbroker for sponsoring the show. And we'll speak again after the Blackburn game.